Right. But then again, we're filming a reality show. So who knows?
Right.
Today, everything's great. Tomorrow, it could be off with your head.
Okay. I feel like I need to get on the record. Do you have bangs or not, Lala?
I mean, I'm still wondering if I have bangs or not. Everyone told me, do not cut bangs. You're going to regret it. So I literally just turned like my broken hairs into bangs just to like give it a little, dip the toe in the pond. I actually really liked them. I felt very vulnerable with my bangs.
Okay. And the hair looks blonder, no?
The hair is definitely blonder. Yes. I was like mortified with how huge my roots were. But when you're a blonde, like you've got this gorgeous hair, so you won't understand. But as a blonde, like you try to not bleach it a ton, but then you get into this stage of like, oh gosh, this woman needs to get her hair done. I was trying to get it healthy again.
Do you feel more like Lala blonde though?
Yes. When I'm super blonde, I am Lala. When I am not putting on glam or my roots are down to my ankles, I'm like, oh, we are Lauren from Utah today.
Oh my God. Perfect. Okay. Glad we got the hair update. I saw season 10 of Vanderpump Rules officially started filming just days ago. How are you feeling? What's your headspace going into a new season?
Feels very weird. My life is very different. I'm in a good place. If you took my life and it was like a puzzle, I would say it's pretty much finished. There's just a few pieces I need to find. I know this is like such a strange analogy, but I feel happy. I'm excited to be back. Hanging out with your friends and being able, like, you forget the cameras there. I think that's the one thing that makes me nervous is I forget the cameras are there. And then I come home and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I just share?
And this is sober Lala.
This is sober Lala. I know I think this is like my third season of being sober. And it truly is the best. I love that part.
Yeah, but you still sometimes when the cameras are around just black out in a different way.
In a completely different way. I go into this state, I go into Lala mode where I'm like, let's mention it all. I take on Bethany Frankel's mantra, mention it all. And then I beat myself up over it after.
Is there anything specific you want the audience to see from you this year that maybe we haven't seen before in your personal story?
I'm excited for people to see single Lala. They really haven't seen that. Even season 4, I was hooked on my ex who was kind of this elusive person. And then, James and I were making out every 5 seconds. And then I was in a relationship. And this is the first time that people are going to see me completely single, thinking about my child venturing into the dating world. So that part I'm super excited for.
I'm excited for that as well. And you and Kody together, in theory, will we be seeing you guys dating, together?
I hope so. We had a conversation the other night and I was like, what are you looking for? And she was like, I don't want companionship right now. And I was like, me neither. We just want to have fun. We just want to look at really good looking men and have, maybe make out a little, maybe take them home. Who knows? But I definitely think viewers will be seeing us out and about together.
When the reunion aired last year, you were kind of saying you might be taking a step back. You weren't sure if you were going to come back. What changed? Were you ever seriously thinking about walking away, or was it just a low point because the reunion was a lot? Every single year I say like I'm done because it is extremely draining to film a reality TV show. We started filming 2 days ago. I literally was still deciding if I wanted to come back the night before we even started. I was ping-ponging. I'm like, do we do this? Do we not do this? And then, I watched one OG episode of Real Housewives of New York and I'm itching for a camera to be in my face. So that's what gets you going, Real Houses of New York.
100%. That's what gets me off, baby.
And you quoted Bethany. Do you have other housewives that you maybe look up to or want to emulate on screen?
I mean, Bethany Frankel is someone who I definitely look up to in every aspect. I think she's witty. I think what she's created from nothing is incredibly inspiring. But just the art of reality TV, I mean, Dorinda kills it. Sonia Morgan, Kyle Richards. I mean, the list goes on who I just could literally watch for hours on end a day. And I do.
Me too. I want to talk about where you stand maybe with some of your co-stars going in. Schwartzy, you've said before, maybe keep taking a step back. Where are you guys now?
I have not seen or spoken to him yet. I don't know what the future holds with that. I always have such like a strong opinion and tone. And I really am like, butter coming out of the fridge. You put me in the microwave and I just melt, which is like the apology. The metaphor is the microwave is the apology. When someone gives me that, I'm like, okay, we're fine, forgive and forget. But I am in a different stage in life and I have a lot to lose. I have to keep my circle tight. And I don't necessarily know if once someone has done me wrong in this situation, if I really want to allow I think I just want to burn the bridge.
But in a group setting, maybe a high walk away kind of thing.
Yes. I mean, I'm not an animal. I'm a civilized person sometimes. But I can definitely be in the same room as someone I'm not getting along with and acknowledge that they're breathing. Yes.
Have you seen a change in Kody since her split from Schwartz?
Kody seems lighter to me. The heaviness is gone. And I've always said it's a luxury to see Kody when she's in like a vulnerable state. And I've seen that throughout her separation, her divorce. And she's opened up to me a lot. She comes across very tough. And I've tried to explain to her, like, people are going to think you're doing just fine because, of what you portray. But I do see her there's something about her eyes. I know that sounds so weird, but they look happy.
Oh. Do you guys lean on each other? And is it fun to at least have, you're both single? We haven't seen Kody single on the show either. So it's kind of like a new dynamic for everyone as far as the viewers are concerned.
I'm more excited for people to see Kody. Baby, it's okay. Sorry. Apartment living, always something going on. I'm more excited for people to see Kody single because 12 years in a relationship and then she is like a caged animal being set free. No, we definitely lean on each other. She's one of those friends where like we can sit on the phone for hours and we just gossip and talk about what it's like to have these new lives. We're both back living in apartments and we're like, it's single girl summer. So I'm just excited that I have her. I mean, I'm so sad that her marriage ended because you never want to see that. But if it happened to the two most perfect people because it has been so easy in the sense that there's no, they still maintain a friendship, if that makes sense. It wasn't like you had to pick a side. There wasn't this like ultimate betrayal where it was like, you're dead to me. So yes, leaning on each other, definitely. And we love Smash.
Yeah. To be a fly, I mean, we get a little bit, but to be a fly on the wall on the no camera conversations would be a dream.
Yeah.
So also single, Raquel, James, not single, but those two not together anymore. Are you still friendly with both of them? I know you were closer with James potentially.
Yeah, I'm very close with James. He's out living his life. We have the type of friendship where we don't need to talk every day. We just kind of pick up where we left off. And Raquel, she's very sweet. I wouldn't say that she and I are close by any means, but, I've gotten used to her. I know that sounds really mean and weird, but, we were at each other's throats a little bit, or at least I was at hers.
Yeah.
And to see her single is really fun. I'm excited. I mean, there's so many people that I'm excited for the viewers to see being single.
Yeah, it is.
She seems like she's come into her own.
Yeah.
I mean, being with James for that long, that'll toughen a bitch up real quick.
Have you, is James's girlfriend going to be filming? Do we know?
I have no idea. I hope so. That would be an interesting dynamic, right?
Yes, I hope so too. Scheana, that's one you're always a little back and forth with, but as far as I know, on good terms. Do we think we're going to see a peaceful Lala Scheana season, or we think not so much?
I think Scheana and I have finally found our footing. It's like we are in such a great place. I don't see it. I've learned how to communicate with her and she's learned how to communicate with me. And I don't know why it took us so long to conquer that, but babies do something to you. You kind of just like step into a calmer, more sensitive state. I It'll be fun to finally enter a season where like I'm not coming for Scheana.
Yeah. I think that's another dynamic that viewers haven't necessarily seen you guys long-term getting along.
Right. But then again, we're filming a reality show, so who knows?
Right.
Today, everything's great. Tomorrow, it could be off with your head.
You weren't shy about concerns about Brock last season. Where do you stand with him? Are you, surprised they're still together? Are you excited for that wedding?
I think back then, if you would have told me they're going to be together, a year and some change from now, I would be shook and say there's no effing way. But I've had many amazing moments with Brock by himself, Brock with Scheana, seeing him as a dad. And I just have a new respect for him. And I know that most people won't get it. I did air a lot of his dirty laundry last year. But when you talk about things that, someone doesn't understand, they can't quite, it doesn't compute, right? It wasn't hitting with a lot of us, including the viewers. But I think when you get to sit down with someone and talk about like the nitty gritty and what happened, it offers you perspective. So I definitely have a different viewpoint of him. And I'm really happy that Scheana found someone like him.
That's good. That's a new plot twist too. I didn't know that necessarily. What about Ariana and Tom? I feel like you've always been close to Ariana, but sometimes with Sandoval, there's something that goes on there. How's it going over there?
You know what? The last time I saw Sandoval was at the Vanderpump Paris opening. And, every time I see him, everything's great. But then we just kind of like drift apart and don't talk. And it's like, I don't know you, you don't know me. But then we see each other and I'm like, damn it. There's just something about that smile that like really reels me in, dude. Both
the Toms are very charming in person.
What is that?
I don't know.
I hate that. It makes my job very difficult when you've got that charm and you put me in front of you because then I melt.
Yes.
So true. All is good on that front as well.
For now.
For now.
I have to ask you about this because the post outside of Vanderpump actually filming, Stassie's wedding was quite the conversation topic. You were invited, but had to we're on a book tour, correct?
Yes, I went on tour. I have legal fees coming out of my ears. Which she completely understood, but I never have FOMO, and watching everyone's stories, I will say I had to put a lot of people on mute during that time because I was like, I can't see it. This is like, I literally want to skip this tour and get on a plane.
And you've been able to maintain a close relationship with Stassie post her being on the show, right?
Yes. Stassie is a very close friend of mine. She's been very supportive through, many ups and downs of my life. So she's a ride or die.
And how did you feel about this alleged handling by Jax and Brittany of not going to the wedding?
You want to know I'm kind of in my own world right now. So I learned that Scheana did a podcast with Brittany. I have yet to hear it. And my friends are very respectful in the sense where, they'll talk to me about things, but then I think they realize which I wish they wouldn't do. I'm like, give me the petty drama because I want that shit. I'm in the heavy type of shit. I want the light. But they I think they read the room and think, I feel like this is going to be very trivial to Lala. So Brittany is one of my nearest and dearest friends. I really hope that at least Stassie and Brittany can get to a good place.
Are you friendly with Jax at all still, or mostly just Brittany?
I'm cordial with him because Brittany is one of my best friends. And I think, it would be the same type of situation if Kody and Tom were still married. I would have to maneuver those waters in the same way I have to maneuver them with Jax and Brittany.
Ooh, it's messy with everyone. Even when you're not on the show anymore, it keeps coming up.
It is. I hate that. I'm like, why can we? I know, right? I'm like, why can't we just have normal lives? It's like, bitch, because if you were a normal person that didn't hold on to petty shit, you wouldn't have a TV show.
Charlie, I think, is the only other one that I haven't asked about necessarily. How are you with Charlie?
Charlie and I have been texting a lot recently. She's got a roster, her words, not mine, a roster of fine men that she wants to introduce me to. So I will be taking her up on that.
So you're open to being set up?
Totally. I'm open to just a good looking man with a jawline in front of me. Like that's the theme of this summer.
Amazing. Baby Ocean. How is Baby Ocean?
She is so amazing. I'm biased because she's mine, but she's so smart and she's just like the ultimate treasure. I mean, I see her with other kids and she's such an old soul. I don't know if you believe in that or not. I'm sure I sound crazy, but
how old is she?
She's 16 months, but I'm like, in your past life, like you've lived a lot of lives. I can tell, you know?
Yeah, sure. You're her mom. You know better than me.
I don't know. I don't think you have to be. I think it's just like, you know, some people come to you and they're like talking to you about the universe. Those people, I'm like, yes, the universe, old souls, I'm connecting. But she's a freaking genius. I think she's a genius.
What are her latest milestones?
Oh, her milestones. The biggest one happened today. She went up to the garbage. She threw something in it and said that it was caca. Oh. Caca. And then she does in the garbage, which I know she's telling me you don't touch what's in the garbage because I've had to tell her not to. And she knows how to throw things away now. So told you, she's a genius.
Genius. What has surprised you the most about being a mom now that you're 16 months into being a mom?
Oh, I think just how your life, you look back and you're like, how did I exist before this person came into my world? Like 16 months, not that long of a time, right? But I cannot remember a world without her. And there's so many people who talk to me about how they're, you know, having babies, it's their first one and, you know, they want to take all the advice in the world. And it's like, I get that, but you know what to do. You just fall into it. And I think that was the biggest shock. Like me just knowing how to be a mom.
Yeah. You definitely know how to be a mom.
Yeah, you just do. There's something that changes in you. You're like, oh, I know exactly how to do this. I feel like I've been doing it my whole life.
Is there a either most challenging or maybe even rewarding thing about being a single mom that surprised you or that's challenged you?
You know, I am considered a single mom, but my support system that I have with my brothers and my mother, it's like, I don't feel like a single mom, if that makes sense. I honestly don't dwell on that part too much. Like, I feel very fortunate to have the support system that I have. And, you know, she's very easy. I got lucky. Like, I can't even remember the last time that I actually saw her like cry with tears. She fake cries all day long. She's a little dramatic queen. And I'm like, you're hustling me right now. I don't see anything coming out of
one to know one.
Right, exactly. I'm like, where did she get this from? Oh, and then I look in the mirror. So everything's been pretty easy, luckily.
Do you want more kids down the line, or is that something you're not worried about at all?
I do. I actually, my husband brought over this man the other day, and I'm not ashamed to say I asked him if I could buy his sperm in the future.
Who was this man?
He was gorgeous. I was like, what I need from you, just the sperm. I don't want a baby daddy. You'll sign some papers. I need you to vamos. I need you to go away right after. And he was like, I'll just give it to you for free. I was like, even better.
As long as everything is like signed away, like we don't need 5 years later coming out pretending that he's the baby.
Right. We'll get the lawyers on the phone before anything happens. But yes, the short answer to your question is yes, I would love more kids. And I don't want more baby daddies, but I do want more kids.
So you would seriously consider going down the line of having another child on your own, whether that would be through a sperm donor or adoption or some other way to maybe do that?
Yes, right now, and granted, you know, I've only been out of my last relationship for about 9 months, but right now that for me is the only option that I would consider. You know, I'm a little gun shy right now.
Yeah. Well, we want a good jawline for single girl summer. But is there anything, if you met the right person, would you jump into a relationship? Is it about that feeling, or are you really like keeping the guard up? Do you have like rules? Like, I want to be single for a year. I want to do this or that, or how are you navigating that part of it?
I have no desire to be in a relationship. I do feel very guarded. I think if someone like the perfect man could step into my atmosphere and I would still be like, the timing is just not right. I have so much on my plate right now with the Give Them Lala brand. You know, I am a single mom in the sense that the only person bringing in a paycheck in my household is me. So I have a lot to focus on. You know, Ocean's going to want to go to college one day. I have to make sure I can provide that for her. So timing is everything. And I don't think it's the right time for a guy to come into my life and me to put any energy. Any extra energy is going straight to my kid.
What is the latest with Give Them Lala Beauty and Give Them Lala Baby? That's what.
Yeah. You know, I'm really excited to see how we're just killing the game. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it continues to grow, but it's working and it's providing for me and my kid. We're constantly coming out with new products. The baby line is near and dear to my heart because it's a family owned and run business. I started it with my best friend from Utah who I grew up with. So we're just, you know, it's growing pains and I'm really excited about what it's doing. I'm very proud.
Would you write another book?
Would I write another book? I would love to write another book. I've started dabbling in the writing process. But again, it's all about putting my time into things that, you know, there's a lot going on. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and I'm being productive. But yes, I would write another book if the opportunity presented itself.
Okay.
I never say no.
Never say no. And then quick question. Also, you recently had your breasts done and you were open about that. How are you healing? Are you happy with the results?
Oh my gosh. I love my new boobs. I love my new boobs and I love my new ear. I'm feeling it's going to be hot girl summer.
Wait, what's your new ear?
I got a new ear too. I got my left ear pinned back. Find a throwback picture of me with my hair back. I'm telling you what, this ear is snatched now. Look at her. She's so cute.
And why was that important for you to do, just to feel more confident?
I always have been self-conscious about that left ear since the time I was a little kid. And there are many insecurities that I've had throughout my lifetime that I've gotten over and just accepted. The ear was not one of them. And I was like, if I can fix it, I'm going to. And now it's like, I never wear my hair down. I'm like, I'll show it off.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly Magazine.